Okay, so this is a video walkthrough before you get started. I'll show you where videos for the rest of the lesson will be linked in. If you're coming to class, I'm going to go over all this with you regardless. So this is our perspective lesson for all summer in a day. You're going to use this slideshow to complete pretty much all your work for this unit or module. You'll focus on perspective and think why the characters act the way they act, as well as suspense the author creates through their actions. So you've already done your what is perspective notes, so those should be able to help guide you. But let's continue on with the thing. So this slideshow, it starts with a fun video. I just enjoy the video. Y'all can laugh at me. But you're going to start with some brainstorming activities. When you are looking at your grade, these activities are grouped together, and the expectation is that you have 5 or more things written in these circles, okay? 5 or more, and I'll make sure I put that up here somewhere, okay? You're going to have to read and annotate the story, so make sure that you're looking at the instructions for this. In order to receive full credit for your story, you must make sure that you are highlighting and, notice the word and leaving comments. Okay, if you're only doing half the work, you'll only get half the credit. Please be mindful of that. And then, of course, your text is linked in right here so you can find it. And then you're going to paste the link to your story here. If your link does not work, you do not receive credit. Okay, that means I don't need to request access or anything. Anyone in Pitt County Schools, please make sure that you change it so that it says that. If it says restricted, you did not do it right. For this slide, please know that you need to make sure you are writing in complete sentences and that you are citing your evidence. Evidence in this particular case needs to include page numbers because I did not number the paragraphs. If you look at the story, you'll see why. So please include page numbers, right? Make sure you're writing in complete sentences. A lot of this stuff we'll do in class together. So make sure that you're coming to class because we'll slowly work through this together anyway. So this is where we really start breaking down perspective. And like I said, you're just watching the walkthrough, so I'm going to go over some of the expectations in this. So for this, you need to make sure you've answered all the questions. For this particular slide, look, the story, annotation, complete the chart below. We will come back to the reader part. So when you're going through this slideshow in order, you do not actually have to fill out the reader. Okay, you only have to fill out this part. You come back to the reader, so don't do that until you've done the other things. Okay, it'll tell you to go back. So make sure that when you're writing this, your answers make sense with the story. So they're all evidence-based. Okay, if you tell me that Margot values rain, you need to be able to prove it to me somewhere in the text, okay? So do not put things that aren't from the text in these boxes. For this Venn diagram, you're going to be expected to compare them. Again, I would like good comparisons that are text-based, so make sure that everything you're putting in here can be found somewhere in the text. It can be proven in the text. And more importantly, you need to make sure that you have enough in here to have fully explored both sets of characters. Now let's write. It says take 5 minutes. That's just me giving it to you. To write about a time that you feel that you were treated poorly. So this is a time where you need to really be reflective and think about it. I am expecting complete sentences. And I would like to see at least a paragraph. I don't want to see a weak sense of writing. You're writing about yourself, and there has been a time where you've been treated poorly. Now, because it's a personal experience, you don't necessarily have to give me every piece of information. You can share as much as you're comfortable with, but if that's the case, I wouldn't necessarily pick that story, if that makes sense. All right, so for our now, let's share. You have to, again, write in complete sentences. Make sure that you're using evidence from the story, so everything is evidence-based. And then you just need, a lot of this is some of your opinion, then you use evidence to justify yourself, okay? So you have to kind of tell me why you think that. You have to tell me what you think, why you think that, and then this is why I think it, because of the text. Okay, so for this last one, you would say, I think the reader is meant to learn this lesson because X, Y, and Z. You can see this in the text, and then give me a couple of places in the text. So this slide 13 is where we go back to the reader part. So if you click on this link, it'll take you back to slide 9. This is when you're going to do the reader portion of it. So make sure that you're paying attention to the instructions. As always, I've highlighted the instructions in green. This is just a transition slide. So you do have a Nearpod that you will complete for this. The Nearpod is a separate grade from everything else, like it always is. And there's first block, second block, and fourth block. Make sure that you are using your block. Your block is the name of your Canvas class. For Practice Makes Perfect, there will be videos linked into my Bitmoji pictures where I break this down for you if you are an independent person. However, if you are coming to class with me, we will watch these videos in class and talk a little bit about this together. And it's the same for this. So we'll do that kind of stuff together. For this, there's a video right here. You watch it and kind of answer the questions that I posed to you. This video goes over the different elements of suspense. And then, of course, because you've watched this video about the elements of suspense in a story, I want you to think about that when you answer this question. So what elements did you notice? So this video helps you right here. And then, of course, this is the exact same chart that we filled in from our slide 16. So use the thought process or go back and review this slide that I'll do with you in the video to help you answer this part. Okay. And then last thing you're going to do for this slideshow, as you can see, there's the you did it. Last thing you're going to do for this slideshow and for this lesson, there's a flip grid. Okay. This flip grid will ask you to tell me the end of the story. So you've already kind of predicted in one of your questions before, but now you're going to tell me the story right here. So I have linked it into the picture, but if it does not work, go to flipgrid.com and use this code right here. So this is kind of your crash course into this lesson. This lesson is going to last us about a week and a half. Your test will be October 23rd. It'll close on the 26th, so just be mindful of that. And I will pace out what slides, like slide numbers, you should be working on each day in your daily announcements and on your weekly schedule in the daily announcements. So just make sure that you are pacing yourself, because this is not meant to be done in a day. Okay? This is a long walkthrough video, but this is what I'll be doing in class one day as well. So if you have any questions, please come to Zoom or email me, and I'll help you as best as I can.